All right, fantastic. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me back to your school. I want to thank Principal Van Loo for inviting me back. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to talk a little bit more than I like to, but I want to make you understand. I want to be very clear about what I'm doing here, how things are going to be similar to last year, what's going to be different. And I always like, okay, so you already did this, but raise your hand if I know you actually know about E3 University. Raise your hand if you I saw more hands before. How many of you actually took photography or dance or some part of E3? Great, fantastic. Raise your hand if you just know what it is. It was an absolute. Okay. Fantastic. And hands down, how many of you either participated with me specifically or saw me get up on stage and do a elect them, talk about what I was doing? All right, great. So nobody here knows me. Nobody here knows me. Nobody here knows me. Did not participate in E3 last year.
No. We're missing one class, so maybe they're all in the other class.
I'm not going to call anybody up. This is people of you who definitely remember me from last year.
Oh, okay.
They probably think I'm going to call them out too soon to participate. It may or may not be true. But anyway, so this is
Don't even try it.
It's a very good thing. First of all, I want to repeat, thank you for inviting me in to speak to you. Thank you for walking in an orderly fashion, and thank you for giving me your undivided attention, because you know how this is done, and you don't always have to do it, but I really appreciate and respect that you're doing it. Okay? So a couple of things. One of the reasons I'm here is because I was born and raised in Patterson. I always get confused when I'm in the school. I think I have to point that way. Any of you familiar with the Presidential Boulevard projects there? Raise your hand if you've seen those. Well, probably about, I want to say 20 years ago, they knocked down a set of very similar projects called the Christopher Columbus Projects. I was born and raised in the Christopher Columbus Projects. Actually, to be honest with you, under very challenging circumstances. You know, I did not grow up wealthy. I grew up with 10 other brothers and sisters. My father's a very serious, very professional, very strict Pentecostal minister. He's a serious guy. So in order for me to do what I wanted to do, I had to get good grades, and then I had to convince my father that what I was doing wasn't just fun or recreational, which it was, and it can be, dance can be, but that it had a purpose, that I was going to pursue it and stick to it and be very serious about it. Okay, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, my father was not really on board with this plan of mine until I showed him that I was going to do my work in school, show up, be committed, and eventually actually started earning some income through my training and my performance. It's a very long story. Only one person here really knows those stories, so I'm going to just skip ahead and say that I'm back as the artistic director of the Inner City Ensemble. And what we're doing is we get funding from the city and other sources, the county, so that we can provide free training. Sometimes we work with a school. Sometimes we work with somebody like this Sarah Lowdy, right? We work with Ms. Lowdy to collaborate, partner with programs. But this year, right now, I'm bringing the program through the Inner City Ensemble. That's the program that's coming to you. We're going to be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know you're doing something really important right now. What are you doing after school? And what else are you doing? So I heard you got to do some testing, right? Doing some testing? Part prep, right? So after that, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna run a class right here in the auditorium on the stage. I'm gonna tell you a couple of the reasons. Actually, before I start, I want to see if you can tell me this. I'm gonna do a quick introduction, right? I'm gonna do an introduction. I'm gonna get volunteers to warm up. Yeah, I see some heads are shaking yes, some heads are shaking no. Introduction, then we're going to do a practice warm-up, learn the dance phrase, and a Q&A. 4 things. Who can tell me the 4 things I'm going to do today? I got one. Well, no, and who can tell me back those 4 things? Introduction, a warm-up, learn a dance phrase, Q&A.
Can you get your mouth open so I can
you raise
hear
your
you,
hand.
please?
I call you. Can you stand up and say it? 4 things we're going to do today, nice and loud. What's the first thing we're going to do? 1.
Introduction.
There you go. 2.
Warm-up.
Warm. 3. What are we going to do?
Dance.
Dance. And then?
Q&A.
Fantastic. Can we give them a round of applause? things about myself. When you go on some classes, dance is good for you. It's healthy. You get into good habits. But also, one of the things I'm looking to do, especially with people who are serious, it's something to think about is, how many of you have heard of the Rosa Parks? It's actually the Rosa L. Parks High School of the Fine and Performing Arts. Raise your hand. Fantastic. Hands down. How many of you have heard of PCTI, the State County Technical Institute? Well, both of those schools offer programs in the arts, and one of the things I'm talking to the counselor there so that for people who are interested in round one, which we just having some fun and learning some basic dance skills, after the sessions we do here, there's going to be Saturday classes, which I run at PCC, the State County Community College. That's an extension of this. That will be on Saturdays. I'll tell you more about that if you can, if you join the program. And what I'm looking to do over the summer in the next couple of years is start training people who are interested, and even if you don't know if you're interested, sort of engage, commit to a project or a training program, because those people will be possibly audition. If they're interested, they would audition for programs. And it's hard to audition for those programs, even if you have some talent and interest, if you don't have enough training. So one, we're going to come here just to have fun, learn some dance, learn some counting. Two, if you're serious, you can continue with this program on Saturdays. And three, if you continue with this program for the next couple of months or years, and you are interested, you might be eligible to audition and get into the Rosa Parks school program or the PCTI program. And they're wonderful programs. I know those teachers, and they're also very competitive. So, you could join up and take class and commit to a program for all those reasons, or any of those reasons, and one will lead to the other.